Ever since I got out of $110,000 in consumer debt back in 2016, I decided to surround myself with wealthy, successful people. I wanted to learn what their spending and savings habits were, as well as how they became wealthy and staying wealthy. So in this video, I want to share the 5 secrets my mentors have taught me over the years. I would love to hear your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Sai and welcome to my channel. The first secret they revealed was creating a board of directors for your household by hiring experts to help manage your wealth, and I'll get to that in a minute. So think of it this way. You and your spouse, if you're married, are the co-CEOs of your household. You're the CEOs who run the day-to-day operations in your household, like paying your bills, taking your kids to school, or making sure that your house isn't breaking apart. If you're married, it is extremely important for you and your spouse to work as a team to run your household, kind of like a company. You both have to be on the same page about finances, and if you're not on the same page, then you need to resolve it as soon as possible, or your household could soon fall apart. The next thing you do is surrounding yourself with people who are experts in their fields, and it's almost like creating a board of directors for your household, right? The first person to the board is hiring a certified public accountant or CPA who can advise us on taxes and accounting. And I'm a financial coach, and I still need to get with a CPA to make sure I'm not doing anything that might bite me in the butt later when the tax season comes. We want to make sure we're not overpaying or underpaying taxes throughout the year. So over the years, having a good CPA is worth every penny because they can save you time by filing taxes on your behalf, and they can also save you money because they're the experts with the latest tax codes. CPAs will make sure you're in compliance with federal or state regulations, so your investment doesn't become a legal issue. If you're going through major changes in life, like getting married, getting a divorce, or having kids, or starting a business, they can help you navigate the best way to save money on taxes. The second person to the board is having a financial coach. And I know it might sound like I'm trying to advertise myself here, but most people actually need a financial coach more than a financial planner, and let me tell you why. A financial planner can help you choose the right investment options for retirement and create a specific financial plan that fits your needs and wants for retirement. A financial coach like me is someone who will assess your current financial situation to help you develop your goals. 99% of my clients did not have a budget system in place to understand what's coming in and what's going out. I develop a personalized budgeting system for the clients that meet their needs first, and without a budget, I can't know for sure if you have enough money each month to reach financial independence. About 80% of my clients have debts like credit cards, student loans, personal loans, and car loans. A financial coach can develop a debt payoff plan after the personalized budget system is in place. And believe it or not, most of my clients don't realize how bad they are in debt until I break down the numbers for them. Also keep in mind that personal finances are 80% behavior and 20% math. I can provide the solutions to your math problems, but you have to do your part to take actions on tackling your debt. So a financial coach like me can give you specific investment advice. I can't say something like, hey, you should invest in this mutual fund or index fund, or hey, you should buy these individual stocks. I am not licensed to give you investment advice. However, I can educate you on the differences between Roth and traditional retirement accounts, the differences between ETFs, mutual funds, and individual stocks, or how to increase your savings rate by creating a personalized budget system. A typical client needs a financial coach for about a year to have a solid budgeting system in place before moving on to a financial planner. When a client wants specific investment advice, then I refer them to the financial planners or advisors that I can trust. It's very important to have a coach or an educator in your corner and not a salesperson. So if you need help with your personal finances and you want to give me a shot as your financial coach, you can schedule a free one-on-one 20-minute financial coaching session by visiting firesidechat.com/coaching. And now the third person you want on the board is an estate attorney when your net worth reaches $1 million. I would also argue that you should have an estate attorney if you're a single parent with kids and you have a net worth over $500,000. An estate attorney can create wills, trusts, and power of attorney on your behalf. I looked into something called a living trust a few years ago because I wasn't married and I have a young daughter. I wanted to make sure that she's taken care of if anything happens to me. Having a living trust is especially important for business owners or partners, or if you own any out-of-state property or assets, or have a large amount of investment like in the real estate or the stock market. My goal is to not own anything to my name, but instead to an entity like a living trust to avoid probate. I will make a separate video about it in the future. The second secret my millionaire mentors taught me was understanding the compound interest and why prioritizing my retirement was the most important thing I need to do with finances. And when I truly started investing in 2017, I realized how powerful it was to put every dollar into my retirement accounts. And every dollar I put in today will be worth so much more in 10, 20, or 30 years with compound annual rate of return. Let me show you this S&P 500 historical chart. The S&P 500 performed 19% in 2017, negative 6% in 2018, 29% in 2019, 16% in 2020, and then 27% in 2021. Even with that negative rate in 2018, and by contributing $50,000 a year, the portfolio would have about 17% annual rate of return with the ending balance of $427,000 at the end of 2021. This is not counting any employer match. And let's say the market isn't as hot anymore and it performs 7% annual rate of return starting now. Without contributing any more money, I would still have over $1 million by the time I turn 47. Let's say I continue to contribute $50,000 a year for 5 more years. I would hit the $1 million mark by age 42. The interest I earn in this portfolio will eventually become more than what I contributed from the beginning. So the lesson I learned from this is the sooner I contribute to my investment, the bigger the growth it will become decades later. I'm prioritizing my retirement accounts like the IRA and TSP, which is equivalent to a 401k, is because of the employer match I get from my employer. Every dollar I get from my employer will become even more by the time I retire. I'm also taking advantage of the Roth in my TSP by paying taxes now, so I don't have to pay taxes later when I retire. You can check out the videos on how I contribute to my TSP and 401k, and I will put those links in the description below. By the way, you can get our free fire resources, including this spreadsheet, by visiting firesidechat.com/contact. You can also check out the Fireside Chat shop, and I have all of my stuff on my bookshelf at firesidechat.com/shopping. The third secret my millionaire mentors taught me was to diversify my income. We're experiencing a serious market downturn right now in the year 2022. The S&P 500 is down nearly 14% and NASDAQ is down almost 22% year to date. So I decided to diversify my income in 2017 by creating a portfolio just for dividend stocks and then another portfolio with growth stocks. My dividend stock portfolio has grossly outperformed my other growth stock this year because the stocks I own are considered safe for the most part. My other portfolio with growth stocks is down almost 25 to 30% year to date with everything that's going on in this market. According to the IRS, millionaires on average have about 7 sources of income: dividend income from the stocks, earned income from paychecks, rental income from real estate, capital gains from selling appreciated assets, profits from businesses they own, and royalties from selling rights to use something they invented. My wife and I are on our Fat Fire journey, and we're constantly looking for different ways to diversify our income. We currently have 5 out of 7 income sources I just listed, but the majority of that is still coming from our paychecks. Our goal is to eventually have our dividend stock portfolio, capital gains, business profits, and rental properties to replace our earned income. So the fourth secret my millionaire mentors taught me was to understand the differences between what's considered good debt and what's a bad debt. And as I said in the beginning of this video, I racked up over $110,000 in bad debt like credit cards, auto loans, and personal loans, and a TSP loan. And I didn't realize I was in a big mess until I realized I didn't have enough to make minimum payments on my loans. I did a detailed video on how I got myself out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, and I will put that video link in the description below. A good debt is generally a debt I can take on to help me generate income and build my net worth. Now, the kind of debt you take out is completely up to your risk tolerance. The only debt I felt comfortable taking out was a 30-year fixed mortgage on my home. I bought my house back in 2014 for $183,000 with 4.25% interest rate for 30 years. Because I'm eligible for a VA loan, I didn't have to put any money down for my down payment. My mortgage payment remained the same at $904.53, and it was a great way to hedge against inflation and the rising interest rates, right? And then in 2020, I took advantage of the low interest rates by refinancing my home with a remaining balance of $170,000 at 3% interest rate for another 30 years. My mortgage payment went from $904 a month to $730 a month, saving almost $2,100 a year in mortgage. I invested that $2,100 into an index fund and got tremendous returns in 2020 with 15% return and 2021 with almost 25% return. My house that I bought from 2014 for $183,000 is now worth almost $400,000 in the year 2022. Now we have invested and got enough returns to pay off my house at any time. Instead of paying off the remaining balance of $164,000, I want to see my investment portfolio continue to grow over the years. Now, the real estate is a great way to build your wealth, and if you use the debt correctly, you could build your net worth over time. If we're going to use debt, we need to make sure we're using it for appreciating assets. And our risk tolerance, however, doesn't include taking out a business loan or taking out a margin loan to invest. My financial coaching business will have a higher than expected profit margin in the long term, so I'm not going to need a loan to fund my business. I'm also not a fan of taking out a loan to invest. And I know some people take out a margin loan to trade stocks, but that's just not my cup of tea. Just keep in mind that when your portfolio hits a certain threshold, the broker could do what's called a margin call and force you to pay back the debt by selling your securities at a loss. And 2022 might be the worst year to use margin to trade stocks. The last advice I got from my millionaire mentors is to have an exit strategy. So our Fat Fire plan is to reach $2.8 million so we can live on $100,000 a year during our early retirement. Every year, I am stress testing our entire investment portfolio to make sure our money is being invested in the stocks or any other assets that will continue to appreciate over time. We have an exit strategy for every stock, ETF, and mutual funds that we own. I pay attention to the company's earnings calls, balance sheets, and any significant changes in the industries we're investing in. And if you want to know more about how we plan to withdraw our $2.8 million Fat Fire portfolio, be sure to check out this video. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.